Well, you said blues rock. How come? What was the first album that you bought, for example?
I think my very first album was Stevie Winwood and the Spencer Davis Group, and that was blues-based rock. Eric Burden, I think. I was way younger then. Jimi Hendrix and The Free. Those were my first 4 albums.
And how come you were into that music? Did you?
I don't know. You get touched by something. I heard "Keep on Running" by Spencer Davis Group, and I got caught immediately by that guitar lick, that and like a distorted, fuzzy guitar, and I thought, what the fuck is that sound? And when I heard "The Wind Cried Mary" for the first time on the radio, I thought that's what I want to do, because I played a little bit of piano then. I didn't play guitar yet, but I heard that kind of sound, and I thought, this is what I need to do.
Who gave you your first guitar?
My aunt. I had a Indonesian aunt, which, there's a lot of Indonesian people live in Holland, as you know. Sam, our bass player, is half Indonesian. Indonesia used to, be a part of Holland, so that explains the whole thing. I had an Indonesian aunt, and she knew I was drawn towards the guitar, and she said, I got an old guitar at home. She gave me that guitar, and then it was like a plywood type of thing, and when my dad started realizing that it was serious, that I was really hooked to that guitar, he bought me a proper Spanish guitar,
And what did you do? Because 24 is, it's not late, but to release a first album.
Oh yeah, I didn't. Oh, to release.
Yeah.
I had recorded albums before that. I was part of a blues, boogie, rhythm and blues type of band. My first album was when I was, I think, 19.
Okay.
When I was in that band, it was like a blues piano players band.
But did you write the songs for the band too?
For my first blues rock album, it was exactly the same as now. I wrote the songs and the lyrics, and it was a natural thing with me. I started writing songs even on the piano when I didn't even play guitar.
So you were
sorry?
When you were really young?
Yeah, I can remember when I was 8 or 9 when I heard songs on the radio that I thought, well, I don't like this part so much, I like the rest, but I would do something different there. And later I realized I should, maybe I should start writing myself, because there was like a certain urge, I just really enjoy writing songs. And as soon as I started playing piano, I had little melodies. I thought, I gotta remember that one. And then, but I can't read notes, So at the time, I trained my brain to memorize all the stuff that I liked, that I stumbled into,
But how come you have the urge? You have the urge to create then?
I don't know. It's for me. That's why a lot of people ask me about the difference between painting and writing. For me, I tap from the same source. It's like it's just a different way of expressing those kind of emotions, which is probably why my style of painting since 1992 or something got so much closer to the way I play guitar. Because originally that was pretty far apart. Originally I painted very realistic, like Salvador Dali was one of my biggest heroes, and the old Dutch master, so I painted very realistically. And later on I realized that's more like composing, like writing. And the way I paint now is more like doing a lead, more intuitive and more expressive, I suppose.
Well, you named 1992 that you started painting like the way you play guitar. Did you know in hindsight, or was it something that you knew that you decided in 1992?
No, I didn't really decide it, because in the Whitesnake period I didn't have time to paint on the road. I did scratch a little bit on hotel walls and pieces of paper and stuff, but when I started painting again after about a hiatus of about 6 years or something, 6 years, I found that I just had a different need to express on canvas than what I used to do before, So I didn't want to sit down again and like first compose like how the picture is supposed to look, where like a person is, or where is a mountain or a building or whatever. I just attacked the canvas like you do your guitar, you know.
How come? How come that? Well, the 6 year period that you didn't paint. How come this? What happened in those 6 years with Whitesnake and?
Yeah, I think when I joined Whitesnake, you know, it was initially only David and me, because David didn't really have a specific plan yet how the lineup was going to look, because he just fired his whole band, and that was in '86. And we stayed in touch since the first time we got in touch with each other in '82. And so I was the first one to join. And from then on, the whole thing became a roller coaster. And you know, we didn't expect the record to go #1 all over the world, and in the United States to sell 14 million albums and stuff. Nobody could predict that, you know. So when the whole thing started to move, you get sucked into it. And as soon as you have like some time off, you go, what the hell happened over here, you know? And that's probably what threw the whole thing upside down as far as the painting goes and stuff. So I'm glad it happened, because I really enjoy, you know, the way I paint now, as far as not having to plan the whole thing so much, you know, just attack the canvas and see where it goes. It's more an adventure, actually.
And what did you learn then during the Whitesnake period about, well, yourself, or what you like about music and what you like about the music business? Was it something that you liked?
Yeah, well, actually, I liked it. I discovered more what I don't like or like about the music business in the period where I didn't do anything as far as music goes,
okay.
Where I was just painting. I realized, well, you know, that in the end, I'm in it for the music, and I just love to create music and to play with a couple of great guys, and that's the thing that I missed most. And the thing that I didn't really miss as much was the whole, you know, Whitesnake became such a big band, and as fun as it is and as inspiring as it is, because it really is, you know, I feel very fortunate to have been able to experience that. At the same time, I realized, wait a minute, I'm in this for the music, so no matter if you sell 3 albums or 300,000, if you make an album that's close to your heart, you know, you can't go wrong, because then you express what you would like to express. It's the same with a painting, you know. You make a painting and you think, well, I don't know if anybody's ever going to buy it, you know. If they don't, tough shit. And if they do, great, but you make it for yourself. And I think that's where all the good music comes from. If you make it to please yourself first and not think about selling possible millions of albums or whatever, or try to create a hit single that isn't a hit single, that's always pretty sad, you know, when you have like a couple of songs on an album, you think, oh, this is gonna be a hit, you know. If it isn't, yeah, then you have a couple of songs that are in between. It's not really an album track, or it's not really a single-oriented track, and then basically you made a knee fall for something that's never happened, you know.
Have you always written like this, your music? Or
Yeah.
Even in the Vandenberg time and.
Well, in the Vandenberg time, with the 3rd album, there was more pressure from the record company, because we got a new A&R manager, and he tried to push us a little bit into a Duran Duran type of direction, which felt very unnatural, of course, you know. And there was pressure from the record company. You got to listen to this guy because we hired him, and he was really expensive. You know what he's talking about, and I go, oh, I don't know, you know. And poison does drip into your creative process if you're not careful. And at the time, you know, we were very successful, especially for a Dutch band in those days. Every once in a while, you catch yourself thinking, well, there's got to be some truth in what a guy from a record company says. I mean, he probably knows what he's talking about or something. And even if you don't listen to it and you don't follow it up with something like that, it still kind of poisons your creative process, because I don't think you're supposed to think about what it's, you know, what it could do, or if you can sell a lot of records or whatever. You hope it, of course, because it opens up so many doors, you know. You can play all over the world if you have a hit single and stuff. And but in the end, that's what I realized, coming back to that question. In the last 12 years, since I've been away, I did really realize what my initial instinctive drive is, why I make music and why I paint, and what is important in your life, you know. And so that was a good thing, you know. It's just really, I feel really privileged that with these guys, you basically start pretty much all over again, you know. People know my name and it's really great, you know. But at the same time, I'm one of the 10 million guitar players that play reasonably well and can write a song or two or something, but that doesn't really mean that much, I think, you know. If I think that what is the important thing is that you feel what you're doing, that you are convinced that's what you're supposed to do. Then you don't really get disappointed either, you know, because then you just play by your heart and you go, well, you know, if people don't like it, then tough shit, but I like it, you know.